So speaking of some of these big sponsors, like let's say Ford and Monster Energy, what's the secret to landing a sponsor like that? Because some teams will be out there their entire careers knocking at the door, sending out decks and then writing up proposals, and they never ever get a call back from either of the big brands. Almost all of your athletes are sponsored by some of the biggest brands in the world. Is there a secret sauce, or is there a trick or a tip that you can give everybody on the call as to how do you open the door to one of the big guys?
Persistence,
Hmm.
absolute persistence, because I brought Toyota to Supercross in 2004, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, 3 or 4. No, 4, yeah. I brought Toyota.
Was that Ed Laukus back in the day with Don Brown?
It was with Doug Frisbee and Jim Farley.
Oh, right on. And now Farley is the CEO of Ford.
Ford. See how it works?
Yeah,
Your
nice.
network. So the Toyota deal was interesting because I was actually in negotiations and trying to sell them on a team with Chad Reed at the time. And they were going to come on and take title to Chad. And in the meetings, are like, hey, how do we get the rights to Supercross? How do we get in? Because Nissan, speaking of athletes,
nice. Bob is always busy, guys. That guy doesn't stop working. I've known Bob a long time, and his phone does not stop ringing. So
no, it's
the first of several.
Sure. Now my athletes call between 6 and 10 p.m. the rest of the night because they're done training or practicing or whatever. But the Toyota deal was interesting because they wanted, Toyota really wanted the sport, but since they couldn't get in the sport, we were crafting a plan of how they could guerrilla market around what Nissan was doing with the sport, because Toyota was getting ready to launch the Tundra. And so they had a crap ton of money around the Tundra, and we knew they were launching that new truck. And like, got to get a land grab on this truck money somehow, some way. Yeah. And if the series was already taken, let's take one of our riders and go forward on that way and come up with a strategy to show them how they could ambush market their competitor. Nissan blinked. I got a call from Feld because Feld had heard I was talking to Toyota, and they said, is this true? I said, yeah. And I said, they really want the sport. And that's how that kind of came together, because of Nissan blinked, and Toyota's 17 years now. They've been there. But then that allowed me to get inside Toyota, start building relationships with their agencies and everyone as well, which leads over and that kind of just carried on through the decade, over the years and all that. But I'll use Ford as the other example. Ford was because I chased them when they decided to get into X Games that first year. I'm like, I got to find these guys. I got to get FaceTime with them. And I literally hunted them down until I found the decision makers and got a face-to-face conversation with them and started building from there. 2 years later, Brian was in a rally car as a Ford factory driver. And it took a lot of vetting out, a lot of data, a lot of analytics, a lot of research, a lot of work with their agencies. Brands like Ford and Toyota do not move quick.